What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Bossing. In this episode, we are going to be checking out the Wilderness Spider Boss, Venenatis. But before we get into all that good stuff, if you like seeing content like this, easy bossing guides, and other money-making methods for old school RuneScape, consider hitting that subscribe button down below and turning on that little bell icon. If you turn that on, it'll let you know whenever I upload new content. Alright, so as usual, first thing is first, we're going to check out a little bit of background information about Venenatis. Venenatis has a combat level of 464 with a hit points level of 255. Venenatis' max hit is 50, but actually, Venenatis can one-tick you with a certain special attack, but we won't have to worry about that. Venenatis is aggressive, it does poison, and it starts at 8. Its weakness is ranged, and it has two attack styles, magic and melee, stab long ranged. Now, let me tell you what, that long range is really long range. It can hit you from a long way away, but once again, we won't have to worry about that. I'll explain why in a little bit. As for Venenatis' more specific combat stats, way up there. Attack level is 470, strength level is 490, defense level is 490, which is 50 higher than the big bear boss Callisto, magic level of 150, and a range level of 1. As for the defensive stats, plus 260 to stab, slash, and crush, plus 850 to magic, but only plus 100 to range. So that is our key right there. We are going to be ranging Venenatis. It's going to be very easy, and actually very AFK too. Moving right along, we will talk about how to get to Venenatis. Now, there are 3 ways, one of which I don't recommend, but if you really want to use it, you can. First way, and the way that I don't recommend, is using the Burning Amulet. The Burning Amulet will put you just north of the Chaos Altar, but I don't recommend this because it eats up an inventory space. It will stay in your inventory, and well, we don't really want that. We want to have as much supplies as we possibly can because we're going to be in the wilderness. Next way is going to be from the Wilderness Obelisks. Now this way, I do recommend this if you have one in your player-owned house. You can use this to teleport here, and it won't eat up an inventory space with anything else. Third way is going to be with the Games Necklace teleport to the Corporal Beast. Now you can use the jewelry box in your house if you have it. If you don't have it, this is going to be another way that I don't really recommend because once again, the Games Necklace will eat up an inventory space. The beginner's jewelry box is pretty low level construction, so anybody that's doing Venenatis, you should probably have that in your house. Once you get to one of these 3 teleport locations, you are going to run up to about level 27 Wilderness, which is going to be in your northeast direction, and Venenatis will be roaming around in this area. The ground is littered with webs. You can't miss it. And as always, I do have some recommended stats for you guys. Now, Venenatis is a pretty serious wilderness boss, but I only have 2 recommended stats for you. First up is going to be your ranged. I'm going to recommend that you have a range level of at least level 80. Now, Venenatis is weak to range, but that level 490 defense is going to be a serious burden. So, if you have anything less than this, your kills are going to take a really long time. I mean, let's be real. I'm at 99 range, and the method that I'm going to show you guys, it even takes me a long time. As for the other stat, it's going to be prayer, and this is going to be a level of at least 44. The level 44 prayer will allow you to use the Eagle Eye prayer, which will boost your range by 15%, and it will also allow you to use the Protect from Magic prayer, which is at level 37. And now we come to the gear setup. Now this gear setup is particularly cheap, and it's kind of not good. I honestly will recommend that you have a crossbow if you're going to be doing Venenatis. Now the crossbow is a little expensive. It's somewhere in the area of 25 to 30 mil at the time of this video. But if you have it, I strongly suggest that you use it. I'm going to be using the magic shortbow, and you have to use either the magic shortbow or a crossbow for this method to work because of the game ticks and the attack speed of these bows on rapid. If you try using any other weapon, this method will not work, so please only use a magic shortbow or the crossbow. I also want to note here that you can buy a scroll from the Grand Exchange for a pretty cheap price tag, which will imbue the magic shortbow, and it will give it the same stats as the crossbow, just without the wilderness damage effect. As for the gear that I'm going to be going with, the Blessed Bandos Dragonhide set because it is the cheapest of the God D hide sets, so I'm not really going to be worried if I lose any of it. As for everything else, Ava's Assembler, but if you have an accumulator or a ranging cape, you can use that, but you will lose a significant amount of arrows. I'm going to be going with the Glory Amulet because it's cheap, not worried if I lose one of those. As for the Amethyst arrows, I'm only going to be taking 300 in this guide because it's a learning experience. Before you get good at it, you want to take less arrows in case you die or in case you get PK'd. Don't want to be losing a ton of arrows. After you get comfortable, you can bump it up to 1,000, 1,500, or more. Magic shortbow imbued, as I said earlier, Barrow's gloves, and I'm going to be using an explorer's ring for that +1 prayer. Now, as for upgrades, once you get comfortable with this, you can take other +1s, or +3s, I should say. You can replace the glory amulet with a necklace of anguish. You can also replace the explorer's ring with an archer's ring for that ranging bonus. And this is all assuming that you don't mind losing some GP if you do get PK'd. Over in the inventory, kind of have a lot to talk about. So ranging potions, obviously you want to keep your range as high as possible. I also have an antidote ++ to get rid of poison from PKers or poison from Venenatis if I accidentally get poisoned. I also have a stamina potion, 1 dose for actually getting there and still having some run when I get there, and also for getting away from PKers. 8 super restores because we are going to be having Protect from Magic up the entire time we're in the wilderness. 6 Ceradomin brews. This will give us a fighting chance against PKers if they do so show up. I also have 7 angler fish, which once again will help us against PKers. 1 house teleport, which is going to get me out there. A looting bag, because you want to put all of your loot in the looting bag so you don't lose anything that you're trying to protect. And I also have a royal seed pod. This royal seed pod works up to 30 wilderness, but if you don't have one of these, you can use your glory amulet to teleport out. Now, I want to make this clear, PKers do frequent the Venenatis area, so you are more than likely to see a few while you're out there. This inventory will help you get away from them, and it will help you outlast a 2.5 minute teleblock. Like I just said a few seconds ago, we are going to have Protect from Magic up all of the time, and if you didn't know, Protect from Magic on will have the teleport block timer, so it goes from 5 minutes to 2.5 minutes, so you only have to outlast it that long. You will also be spending the majority of your time in the single combat zone. We only have to step into multi for a very short time for each kill. Alright, so I have shown you guys some recommended stats, what kind of gear I'll be using in the inventory setup, as well as some background information about Venenatis. So let's go ahead and jump into some kill clips. I'm going to be showing you 2. I'm going to be showing you how to set up the safe spot, and after that I am going to be showing you how to use the safe spot after you have successfully killed Venenatis once. Alright, so starting out here, I'm going to pause the clip at the very beginning. Now what I'm doing here, over here towards the west, is I'm waiting for Venenatis to get into a certain area. And on the ground, you can see that I have certain tiles marked. These tiles are going to be very important for the safe spot. These tiles are going to be where you're always wanting to move to and where to stand. As for the grouping of tiles, which you can see there, I have 6 of them marked. This is where Venenatis is going to spawn. Now after Venenatis moves over near the spawn location, I'm going to start creeping towards the east so I can keep an eye on Venenatis, because it's going to be important. When Venenatis aggroes me, I'm going to need to be ready for this. Alright, so Venenatis has moved back up towards her spawn location. Now what I'm going to have to do here is I'm simply going to have to wait until she gets close to that spawn location. Now you don't want her to pass that spawn location. You can see she has a very big hitbox, and her hitbox is going to be 4x4. And this is how you're going to determine whether or not you can attack Venenatis. Once Venenatis's legs are on the 4 squares that are closest to me, that is when you're going to be able to attack Venenatis when she aggroes you. As soon as she hits that threshold there of those 4 boxes, she's going to aggro me. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to wait 1 game tick, which is 0.6 seconds. Then I am going to click on Venenatis. It's very important. If you miss this game tick, the safe spot will not work. You will have to run to the west, reset the aggro, and try to set the safe spot up again. Alright, so right there you saw that Venenatis aggroed me, and I waited 1 game tick to attack her. Now it's very important, like I said, do not miss that game tick or you'll have to start all over. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to shoot an arrow, and then I'm going to step onto the tile immediately to my east. Now you can actually do this on the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd shot, but we only have a total of 4 shots to set this safe spot up. So on the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd shot, you will have to move to the next tile. On the 4th shot, you will be moving to your southeast to that next marked tile. It's very important that you do this. Now, once you have made it to the second tile that I'm standing on, your safe spot is set up. You don't have to do anything else from here. You can see over there underneath the wilderness icon that I am in single way combat, but I am close to the multi-zone. So if I got teleblocked and dragon speared here, I would get dragon speared right into multi. Now the two more tiles that are marked to my east, you can shoot an arrow. As soon as your character starts to shoot this arrow, you can move over to the next tile and immediately click back on Venenatis. If you miss any game ticks here, the safe spot will mess up and you'll have to start all over. Now personally, I end up moving all the way to the east tile that I have marked. This puts me about 6 spots into the single way zone, so one player cannot possibly de-spear me into the multi-combat zone. So now that I have shown you how to set up the safe spot, I'm going to show you how to continue using the safe spot. And it's going to be a little bit different because we're actually going to be starting on that first tile that I used. Now for me personally, what I like to do here is I wait in single combat zone until about 4 or 5 seconds before Venenatis spawns. Then I move over to that first tile that is marked, and then I can get Venenatis to spawn. So I will be spending as little time as possible in the multi-combat zone. Now once again, when Venenatis spawns, you're going to have to wait 1 game tick, and the easiest way to recognize this is when Venenatis spawns, she's going to turn and she's going to look at you. As soon as she turns and is fully looking at you, that is when you can click on her. It takes her 1 game tick to actually turn and face you. So once she's turned and faced you, you're good to start the kill. After you start the kill, you're going to fire 4 arrows, and as your character is winding up that 4th shot, you're going to click on the second tile and move over to that tile, and your safe spot will be set up. From there, you will wait until your character loads another arrow, and you will start to move into the single combat zone to keep you a little bit safer. From there, it is pretty smooth sailing. All you have to do is make sure that your magic prayer stays up, and you can just AFK the kill from here. Keep an eye out for PKers. I know I said it's kind of AFK. You can do it AFK, but I would watch out for PKers. Now, as for your prayer getting low while you are actually killing Venenatis, using a potion actually doesn't eat up a game tick as if eating food would do. So you can click on a potion as soon as your character is starting to wind up a shot and immediately click back on Venenatis. You can see it throughout the kill clip as I roll it out. The kill clip is going to be a pretty long one because I am using the magic short bow, but just so you guys can watch, I'm going to let it play at normal speed. One more thing I want to quickly add here is that you want to have your magic prayer up at all times. If you take your magic prayer off for even a tick, Venenatis will aggro you, it will mess up the safe spot, and she will try to move in to melee you. So there's 2 benefits to this. 1, the safe spot will be continuously useful to you, and 2, if you do get teleblocked by a PKer, it will only be 2.5 minutes instead of 5. Alright guys, that is going to do it for my Venenatis safe spot guide. I hope it gets you moving in the right direction. And for those of you that might ask in the comments below, no, this is not bug abuse. This is fine. You can do this. You will not get banned. The reason that Jagex probably leaves it this way is because PKers usually take care of the people safe spotting Venenatis. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up down below. They really help the video's popularity. And like I said before, if you like seeing my content like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your way out. I will see you guys on the next video. Take it easy, everybody.